Now let's get up to speed with Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's!
We've reached the end of the semifinals! It all comes down to what promises to be an incredible duel! In their respective pits, the last duelists are waiting! Who will emerge triumphant? Yusei Fudo? Or will it be Halldor?
Divinity rises! Behold, the ruler of all things! I synchro summon the ultimate Nordic god, Odin, father of the Asia!
Amazing! He's got 3 god cards. This will take everything I've got.
The battle between Team Ragnarok and Team 5D's is better than we could have ever hoped. Just look at the circuit surge. At this rate, once we reach the final match, the connection will be teetering on the edge of full completion, and so will our master plan.
I now synchro summon the majestic Star Dragon!
Yes, Yusei!
He's actually done it! He's harnessed the power of the Crimson Dragon!
I'll now place a card face down and end my turn, which means we're at the end phase, and my Nordic gods return. So rise, Thor, Loki, and of course, mighty Odin! I play my trap, Wave Rebound!
Simply sensational! Due to Wave Rebound, all of Team Ragnarok's Nordic Gods will be waving their last goodbyes. And now, Halldor will take damage equal to the attack points of all 3 of those clobbering conquerors.
I activate a trap from my graveyard.
From your graveyard?
That's correct. Yellowhorn. Yusei, prepare to feel the full wrath of the Nordic gods.
Makes me feel alive. My heart beats in hyperdrive. Do you think you can win? Only if I lose. Just let destiny choose. I can hear you breathing. I can see you coming. I can feel the wind that's blowing me around. Take a shot at me running side by side. It's a blur as I go by. I can hear you breathing, I can see you coming, I can feel the wind that's blowing me around. See the sun arising, fire in the sky. Greatness thrusts itself into our lives.
Sorry, Yusei, but due to Yellowhorn, your Wave Rebound won't be making any waves at all. You see, Yellowhorn puts a stop to any effect that prevents the revival of my Nordic gods. But there's more. At the end of my 3rd turn, all the monsters I have on the field are removed from play, and you get hit with the total of their attack points.
No way!
That means at the end phase of every turn, those 3 Nordic gods will return to the battlefield. This Yellowhorn really does sound the alarm for Yusei.
Especially if you add up the attack points of those 3 gods. Yusei could be taking over 10,000 points as direct damage.
This is just awful! Yusei just went from the guy to beat to the guy getting beat!
No joke. Just look.
Now then, since Thor has returned, you take 800 points of damage. And since Loki has returned, I can now add 1 trap card in my graveyard to my hand. And the card I'll be selecting is the Trap Odin's Eye. You know what that means.
Just look at Yusei's face. I do believe he realizes how dire the situation is.
He better. Halldor's never lost once Yellowhorn's been thrown.
Next, thanks to Odin and his special ability, I get to draw 1 card from my deck. Ah, very nice. Now, I'll end my turn, and since I have, Yellowhorn's counter becomes 1. A counter that is the countdown to your demise, you say. Especially since, at this very moment, the effect of your monster chain trap is snapped. Your move, you say, perhaps your last.
Unbelievable! Team 5D's most dynamic duelist, Yusei Fudo, has fiercely fought off Team Ragnarok, but it's all been for naught. And now you'd better believe the rest of Team 5D's stomachs are in knots. After all, this duel will be over unless Yusei can muster a miracle comeback.
As long as Halldor has Odin's eye out, he'll be able to see my cards and right through my strategies. But wait.
Yusei, when a god is on the field, nothing can negate the gaze of Odin's eye. And since that's the case, it activates. Now, once per turn, by negating the special abilities of a god, I'm allowed to look at a face-down card in your hand or on your field.
Maybe I can use this to my advantage. After all, what you see isn't always what you get. My turn! And first I'm summoning Stardust Phantom! When Phantom is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, I can summon Stardust Dragon from my grave in defense mode. Furthermore, if I then remove Stardust Phantom from play, I can then lower Stardust Dragon's defense points by 800 and make it invincible to any attacks you dare throw its way. I then end my turn with a face down.
I see what you're planning. I'll even break it down for you step by step. Since Phantom's ability activates from the graveyard, Thor won't be able to negate it. Then, if my 3 Nordic Gods attack, you'll simply revive Stardust Dragon from your graveyard and be able to survive the onslaught due to his hardy defense. In fact, thanks to Stardust Phantom's ability, you can survive my God's attacks 3 times and still keep Stardust Dragon.
That's right.
However, you forgot one thing. It's my turn, and my speed counter is up to 10. And so that means I can activate Speed World 2's effect now. So by removing 10 speed counters, I can destroy 1 card on the field. The card that I choose to destroy is that Phantom!
And since you have, Phantom's ability now activates. So what happens next is just as you called it. I can summon Stardust Dragon from my graveyard.
Now, Thor, attack!
I play Phantom's second ability, just as you predicted. By removing Phantom from play and lowering Stardust defense points by 800, he can't be destroyed in battle.
Go, Thunderbolt Bludgeon! Now your turn, Loki. Go, Vanity Blast!
Once again, I activate Phantom's ability.
And that's the last time you will, Yusei. Don't you see? Stardust Dragon doesn't have enough defense points to save himself and stick around. You were 1 move short due to my speed counters. And now, blast that Stardust Dragon off the field, Odin! Go, Sacred Scepter Slash!
I play Stronghold Guardian. Since my monster in defense mode has been attacked, by banishing Stronghold, Stardust Dragon gains 1,500 defense points until this turn's end phase. Now, Phantom, activate your ability.
Oh no!
Thanks for taking some shots for the team, Stardust.
Well, I have to admit to you, Yusei, I am ever so impressed with how resourceful you have become. You've been down so many times, but never quite out. But that will now change. I summon Jormungand, the Nordic Serpent, to your field!
My field? What's this? What's going on here?
I'll tell you what's going on here, Yusei. When a god is on my field, I can summon Jormungand from my hand to your field in defense mode. Then, if Jormungand switches to attack mode, you take 3,000 points of damage. Next, I activate my face down, the trap Glypnir, the fetters of Fenrir. Due to Glypnir, when a god is on my field, I can add Fenrir, the Nordic wolf, from my deck to my hand. And then, again, thanks to the gods, I can summon Fenrir from my hand to your field in defense mode. And I'm not just crying wolf. Rise, my pets! Now, when your turn's battle phase begins, Fenrir switches all monsters on your field in defense to attack mode. Also, from this point on, both players take damage from any battle involving Fenrir.
Say what?
That is one tough card combo.
Wait, how's this a combo?
Because, Leo, during the battle phase of Yusei's next turn, Fenrir forces monsters from defense to offense, which means that Jormungand switches to offense. And Yusei takes 3,000 points of damage!
What? Oh no!
Next, I place one card face down and end my turn. And since I have, Yolahorn's counter becomes 2.
This is bad! Yolahorn's counter has just one spot left! Oh, Yusei!
And unless he does something soon about Jormungand and Fenrir, he won't even last until that spot.
The card Halldor just placed face down has to be Odin's Eye. I'll have to play this carefully. My turn now. I play the trap, hope for escape. Now, since I have less life points than you, Halldor, by getting rid of 1,000 of them, I'm then allowed to draw 1 card for every 1,000-point difference in our life points. And since the difference between us is more than 3,000, I'm allowed to draw 3 cards from my deck.
Whoa! Yusei is taking a titanic risk here! If he can capture the cards he covets, will it be worth it? We'll see! After all, he has now just 200 life points left!
200? So pretty much a strong gust of wind could end this duel now.
Oh, Yusei!
The only good news is that Halldor's speed counter is still at 1, which means there's no way he can play an effect that'll take out Yusei's last points.
That's true, but since on Halldor's next draw, Yolahorn's effect will activate. Yusei has just one last move to win this, and it begins now.
Time for me to rev things up. It's my turn, Halldor, and I summon Life Gardna! And with that done, I'm now gonna summon another monster simply by removing one that I already have from play. So now Jormungand, make way for Different Dimension Sprite!
But wait!
All right, that move changes everything.
Yeah, now Halldor's Nordic combo won't work against Yusei.
Different Dimension Sprite, now rise and tune with Life Gardna! Behold, as both power and speed surge towards each other and collide to create the Synchro, the Tuner, the mighty Formula Synchron!
A Synchro Tuner? What's Yusei planning?
Next I play Life Gardner's ability. Because Gardner was used to Synchro Summon, I now gain 800 life points. Now I'll play Formula Synchron's ability. With it, I'm allowed to draw 1 extra card from my deck every turn. The key to winning this duel now isn't just skill, it's speed. And I just got a whole bunch of it. Let's rev it up!
Could it be? No way!
I tune level 2 Formula Synchron with my level 8 Stardust Dragon! Let the spirit of all duel monsters now spread its wings and soar to new heights, where it can be transformed by the winds of destiny, where it can become all-powerful! Go, Excel Synchro!
What in the world?
Appear, Shooting Star Dragon!
Shooting Star Dragon! That's Yusei's most ultimate monster!
Now from my hand, I'm playing the speed spell Star Force! With this card, so long as I have 4 or more speed counters, I can remove 1 monster on my field from play. And then I can choose to give 1 monster on my field a supercharged power-up until this turn's end phase. So the monster I'm removing is Fenrir! And since Fenrir is level 10, I get to power up my Shooting Star Dragon by 1,000!
4,300 attack points!
this could pose a problem.
A bigger problem than you realize, Halldor. Because now Shooting Star Dragon's ability activates, which means I get to check the top 5 cards on my deck for tuner monsters. I have 3, and I'm afraid for you that means I'm now allowed to wage 3 separate attacks. Now then, let's get to it! Shooting Star Dragon, attack!
We'll pay for that, Yusei.
Uh-oh! Halldor's turn! Yeah, and he sure looks mad.
Like a bug on my Duel Runner windshield, you just keep hanging on, refusing to accept that sooner or later you're going to hit the pavement.
The only thing that's hitting the pavement are these 2 face downs.
Which means it is the end phase of this turn, and because it is, guess who's back? That's right, Thor has returned, which means you take 800 points of damage!
Yusei!
His points are back down to 200 now.
And now Loki is back, so I get to add a trap card in my graveyard back to my hand. And as you can see, the trap card that I've selected is God's Shackles Glypnir. Finally, Odin returns to the field, letting me draw 1 card from my deck. But that's not the end of it, don't forget. Now that we're at the turn's end phase, your dragon's attack points return to normal. And now it's my turn.
What a back-and-forth battle this has turned out to be! It's anyone's guess what happens next!
Anyone's guess? It's clear as a bell what will happen. Or perhaps I ought to say clear as a horn.
That's right, Horn will soon blare. And since it'll be for the 3rd time, Yusei's out of time.
Think Yusei has what it takes to win, Crow?
You know what, Jack? I think we're all about to find out.
It all comes down to this last round, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Bring it on, Halldor!
Aren't you peppy for someone who is about to lose?
If I lose, at least I'll know I did everything I could to win.
Oh, please, that's the way failures speak. But I suppose that fits because you have failed. And now I'm going to make it official. Then, at long last, all of the world will recognize something as an ironclad fact. And that is, the Nordic Gods can defeat all who oppose them, even your fledgling synchros. Observe, I summon Tyr of the Nordic Champions.
When Tyr of the Nordic Champions is released, the Nordic Gods cannot be affected by spells, traps, or special abilities.
Next, I activate the trap card, Odin's Eye.
Not that card.
Now he'll see right through Yusei's hand again!
Remember, Yusei, you can't negate the activation of Odin's Eye when a god is on the field. Of course, I have to negate my god's abilities in order to use Odin's Eye, but that's a small price to pay. Next up, I play Tyr's ability. Now, by releasing Tyr, any attacks you were thinking of throwing my way won't do my gods any harm. In other words, the penalty that comes with using Odin's Eye is now gone.
I love it when he saves his best moves for last.
Now then, by the divine power of Odin's Eye, let's see that face down!
Just what I was hoping for. I activate my trap, Trick Mirror. Due to this card, when your trap activates, I can activate its effect as though it was my own. And the trap effect that I'll be taking is that of Odin's Eye.
Oh no!
And this means your god's abilities are negated once more.
Fine. What's it matter? Even without his ability, Odin has 4,000 attack points, which is more than enough to take down your shooting star dragon. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Odin, attack!
I play Shooting Star Dragon's ability! Now by removing Shooting Star Dragon from play during your turn, the attack of one of your monsters is negated.
So what? Your field is now empty, you say? I'll simply have one of my other two gods attack you now.
I play the Trap Zero Force! Now, Halldor, because my monster left the field, your 3 Nordic gods are about to lose all of the power and might they each possess.
That can't be! But if their points are 0, they can no longer attack!
And don't forget, at the end phase of this turn, the effect of your Yallarhorn trap activates. And that means all monsters on your field will be removed from play, and that I take damage equal to the combined attack points of those monsters. However, since the attack points of your 3 gods now total just 0, I won't be taking any damage at all.
No way!
Not fair! Yusei's outmaneuvered the gods! And since the gods have been removed from play, Halldor can't bring them back!
Huh?
Now that we've reached this turn's end phase, Shooting Star Dragon rises again! And with his rise comes your fall! Now go, Shooting Star! Attack!
We're failures!
Simply sensational! The duel is over! Yusei has done it! And now, it's off to the finals for Team 5D's!